Careful, Ralphie. You'll poke your eye out. Welcome to Old Times Is Not Forgotten, where we like to remember the past. Today, we're gonna go cruising to the 1950s and remember such iconic things as the bullet bra. It seems that in the 1950s, they liked things pointy. Not only in their women, but in their automobiles. So sit back, get yourself a bottle of pop, and maybe turn on the boob tube to go cruising to the 1950s.
Record numbers throng into the Coliseum for the 42nd National Automobile Show. It's being held in New York for the first time in 16 years. And as if to make up for lost years, the show is staged on a lavish scale. Power aplenty is represented here. Mighty new engines and power accessories galore on the 124 makes and models displayed. Styling verges on the spectacular, from air-scoop grills to the dramatically sweeping tail fins that dominate most of the 57 models. The cars are longer and lower than ever this year, too, thanks in part to the smaller 14-inch wheels. Most of the 51 million passenger cars in use today seem drab and boxy, stacked up against these newest dreamboats. High in the dreamboat class, this one has everything for the busy executive. Makes work worthwhile. There's a trend to the sporty and more colorful. Detroit's designing geniuses keep pace with a nation that's taking more and more to the road. One of the year's innovations, the hard-top convertible. Just push a handy little button and the solid roof folds back out of the way. See it and believe it. And there is room for luggage, too.
Elvis Presley no longer has that rock and roll beat. The tempo is hut, 2, 3, 4 for Private Presley. He's at Camp Chaffee, Arkansas, beginning his 2-year Army hitch courtesy of the Memphis Draft Board. Like any ex-civilian raw recruit, the king of rock and roll will be keeping time to non-hip bugle calls. Involuntarily retired, the gyrating guitarist's departure from the public eye left his blue jean fans all shook up, so we hear. But Elvis doesn't seem to mind at all.
Christine Jorgensen, who used to answer to George, creates quite a stir as she returns home to New York from Copenhagen. Christine hit the headlines following the series of operations in Denmark that transformed her from a boy into a girl, all of which made her a celebrity to meet and talk to when she stepped off the plane at International Airport. Gentlemen, please give her a chance to talk.
I'm very impressed by everyone coming.
Christine, are you happy to be home?
Yes, of course. What American wouldn't be?
Have you been offered a movie contract?
Yes, but I haven't accepted it.
Do you have any plans regarding the theater?
No, I don't think so.
Hey, Christine!
Are you going to go on with your photography?
I hope so, yes.
I see. Right.
I'm very happy to be back, and I don't have any plans at the moment. And I thank you all for coming, but I think it's too much. Fine, thank you very much.
Woman's Home Companion Awards are received in Hollywood by John Wayne and June Allison, 2 of the film capital's top luminaries. Miss Allison receives her award for her outstanding work in the Glenn Miller story. The distinction comes to the 2 actors as a result of a poll taken throughout the nation. Women of America render their verdict on the efforts of movie makers and their stars.
This human pincushion, Scarabée, says, hit me. He's out to beat the world's record for immunity to pain. Ouch! Well, that's what you would say, but Scarabée is a complete stoic to such pinpricks. This modern faker claims he was inspired by St. Sebastian, and also claims that planks full of nails are mere playthings, not worth his consideration. Scara thinks he could fight it out with a sewing machine, but figures the only thing that could beat him would be a wound to his pride. That would really get under his skin.
The wedding of Senator John F. Kennedy recalls Newport's one-time social grandeur. Speaker of the House Martin, Congresswoman Edith Norris Rogers, Senator and Mrs. Leverett Saltonstall, screen celebrity Marion Davies, and former Ambassador and Mrs. Joseph Kennedy, parents of the groom, are among the personalities on hand to make this the top society wedding of the year. For the spectators outside the church, it's a real storybook wedding. A radiant bride, the former Jacqueline Bouvier, and a handsome groom. With a pretty wife and a politically rising star, the future seems bright for the junior senator from Massachusetts.
When a well-known honeymoon couple arrives at Tokyo Airport, a throng of 4,000 baseball and movie fans surge out of control, break through police lines. Joe DiMaggio and his bride smile bravely at their greeters, but they don't dare move. So back into the plane they go, while police clear a path to the cargo hatch with DiMaggio's convertible. The stratagem works. The former Yankee slugger and his picture bride escape into the car and head for the safety of their hotel. But their troubles aren't over. Next day comes a press conference where the public was barred, but the photographers and reporters more than made up for that. Their questions were rough, ranging from the risque to the ridiculous. And Joe, he's the forgotten man, which is something in Japan where baseball is so popular. I mean, never underestimate the power of you-know-who. But enough's enough. His patience is exhausted, and Joe says, go.
Prince Rainier's yacht bears his betrothed in triumph into the harbor at Monaco. A few hours earlier, Grace Kelly of Philadelphia and Hollywood stepped aboard the Deo Gigante from the liner Constitution, which carried her across the Atlantic. A picture queen who will become a princess greets her new subjects and is greeted by them in turn. as she goes ashore to a tumultuous welcome. The little postcard principality wears its heart on its sleeve, its feelings expressed by two small monegasques offering flowers. From far or near, all eyes are on this old world city and its bachelor prince, who wooed and won him a leap year bride in the new world. Through streets decked with American and Monacan flags, he whisks her off to his pink and white castle on the eve of the wedding of the year.
Oh, here's another real good idea that can prove of great value. Have a pretty nice looking car here, and I wouldn't want to lose it. Wouldn't want to have it stolen. And if it was stolen, the men who take these cars are pretty ingenious, and they file off all serial numbers so that you can't identify it. But here's a trick to do. Take a business card if you have one, or if you haven't a business card, any piece of paper with your name and address on it, and just drop it down the window well of the car. No one would ever think to look for it there except you, and if your car ever turns up, there's permanent identification even if everything else has been removed. Good idea? We'll do it.
America's newest gift to the continent, the hula hoop craze, spreading like wildfire in lands already ravaged by rock and roll. This West German film documents the impact of the hoop, the hottest thing since the St. Vitus dance in the Middle Ages, and with much the same symptoms. From the bourgeois businessman to the bohemian ballerina, the craze hits regardless of class or social status. But looking at it from another viewpoint, the hoop-de-doo has its attractive aspects. In France, too, all the pretty girls have fallen for the hoopla. The swaying rhythmic motion is not only good exercise, it's relaxing, so you tend to stay with it. Relaxing, it's downright hypnotic.
Who are welcomed to the Capitol in recognition of their outstanding driving records. Vice President Nixon greets 33 of them from 30 cities. Together, they represent 834 years of driving and 20 million miles of accident-free operation. The 4-star awards signify courtesy, safety, service, and citizenship. In these days of automobile casualties, their performance on crowded city streets becomes the more remarkable.
Army Ordnance conducts a test of a new amphibious truck at Rainbow Springs, Florida. Fitted with a snorkel for air intake and a snorter for exhaust, the 2.5-ton vehicle submerges. This is part of an underwater service cruise which keeps the truck under operation for periods ranging up to 4 hours. The driver, equipped with a portable lung breather, goes right down to Davy Jones's locker along with his craft, which is known in the trade as the Eager Beaver. Mermaids thumb a ride for a submersible hitchhike. Seriously, though, this amphibious marvel can travel on land as efficiently as it can underwater. Up she rises. And as she rises, she blows her tubes just like a submarine. One of the Army's latest weapons for defense. The Yankees, who took 4 straight from the Phillies to win the World Series, get into their stride at Phoenix under peppery Casey Stengel, the boss Wrangler trying on a new crown. And here is Phil Rizzuto and Yogi Berra getting set for another successful season. Casey looks over the new crop of rookies. Most of these will be in the lineup this season. As usual, the Yankees figure to be unbeatable, but they may need some new blood on the team. It seems as how the top man of them all, Joe DiMaggio, has hinted this may be his last season. Say it ain't so, Joe.
Sports car enthusiasts are in high gear as the World Motor Sports Show opens at New York's Madison Square Garden. New ideas, new designs, new gimmicks to delight the heart of drivers who like theirs sleek and racy and low-slung. Many of the cars are foreign imports, reflecting the latest continental touch. Some are homegrown, and this one shows the jet age influence. No, the jet exhausts are only trimming. The engine is conventional. 3 wheels, 4 brakes, take your pick. There are things to come in the garage and in the kitchen. This is the kitchen of tomorrow, a press-button dream coming true for Mrs. Housewife. All sorts of wonders are hers at the push of a button, from refrigerator doors to countertops built for big gals or little gals. Don't have to lean over here, you see. What's for dinner? Consult the menus on pictures and dish up something new for a change. Hummingbird wings on toast, maybe. And look where the toaster is. A
wave of the hand and presto, down comes a hidden cabinet with the dishes. Mama will feel like a fairy princess with a magic wand in a place like this. We won't be able to get her out of the kitchen, but we'll cross that bridge when we get to it. Right now, the question before the house is, what's cooking and when do we eat? The Motion Picture Division of the United Nations Day Citizens Committee presents a cake to President Truman at the White House, marking the 6th anniversary of the signing of the United Nations Charter, which occurs October 24th. The President expresses his appreciation of UN cookery.
Thank you very much for the cookbook. I've long ago quit talking about Mama's cooking because I have a good cook at home. And she also has made a good cook out of the musician who is our daughter. She can cook too. I can't say that she likes to cook as well as she does to sing, but then she's able to do it. And on my advice, I hope every young lady in the United States will learn to make cakes like this. Thank you.
The fashion camera visits Darien, Connecticut for a day with a suburban housewife. A sheerly lovely suburban housewife, that is. Our heroine's morning is spent in a smartly striped play and work suit with trim skirt and jacket worn over it when friend neighbor drops in for luncheon. Friend neighbor wears flower patterned shirt and skirt of Mexican linen, also chic and suburban. Comes cocktail time and housewife turns glamour girl in this at-home costume designed by Tina Lesser. Glamour girl is a gourmet, too. For a dinner party, she's a hostess, handsomely gowned with a bouffant skirt over her earlier costume. Sheer informal elegance is the keynote. Friend neighbor is dazzling in a gown of Pima cotton with paisley top by Oleg Cassini. And that's our fashion story of a day in the suburbs. Anyone for Darien?
The mechanical feeler does the trick. Sort of a radar antenna that steers a newly perfected, completely automatic lawnmower at Bridgewood, New Jersey. Dubbed Grass Finder, it's the latest answer to a gentleman farmer's prayers. And hers, too. Smile. Why not? All she had to do was cut one strip around the outside of the lawn and then set the mower on automatic. From then on, there's nothing to do but drink a toast to a time saver that feels its way along. When the feeler contacts grass already cut, one wheel is braked and the machine turns to the right. It also mulches the cut grass so there's no raking or sweeping. To make a long story short, Grass Finder makes short shrift of the lawn while you have a tall drink.
Now, in conclusion, here's a quick motor tip. This is the time of the year when you'll probably be taking your car to the beach, to the ball games, other sporting events, and you may have to leave your car in a huge parking lot with thousands of other cars. You may have had the experience, but you couldn't locate your car when you came out. Here's a very simple little trick that'll let you find it quickly. Take a colored ribbon, any color of your choice, the bright one preferably, tie it in a knot on the top of the aerial of your radio, raise the aerial, and when you come to the parking lot, you'll be able to find your car out of thousands very easy.